All right, everybody. Great morning here on the beach. We're 3 minutes away from starting the show. Please let me know how the sound is. We want to make sure that I don't go 10 minutes into the show and the sound is crappy like last week. So let me know how the sound is. And we have great guests lined up for today. Mr. Mount Everest is coming on to be our first guest. And need a rental. I don't know what that means. Let us know how the sound is, and we have 2 minutes before we go. 2 minutes. Everything sounds good? All right. Everything is good. Wife, 2 minutes. Of course, she's not paying attention. We have a great view of Pete's Timeout behind us, a full table of guests, and it's a great day here on the beach. It's going to be a great weekend, and we appreciate everything. Hey, Tom and Kathy. Oh, good. Everything sounds good. And we'll not be going on a rant early in the show today because we want to get right to the guests. But you are going to enjoy the brand new opening that we have at 9 o'clock. And, I like to be prompt with starting the show. So we're going to count it down. And I'm looking around for the blue shirts. I don't see any blue shirts yet, but we're prepared in case I get pushed to the ground and cuffed at 9 o'clock. But everything is crystal clear so far. So stay tuned. We have 1 minute. 1 minute. Stand by, please. Stand by for news.
They put the B in business.
Beach Talk Radio is a business. We do not allow businesses. They weren't allowed to sell things that they were making there. The other people in that plaza pay huge rents in order to conduct business in Times Square. To allow a business to be a street performer, Beach Talk Radio is a business.
Now it's time to get down to business with a capital B. Business is hopping here on Fort Myers Beach in the public square where Beach Talk Radio is broadcasting live. Here are your hosts, Kim and Ed Ryan.
And good morning, everybody, and welcome to episode number 167. We are coming to you live from Pete's Timeout on Fort Myers Beach in the public square. Until yesterday, it was the public square, but yesterday I found out it was the Bill Stout pedestrian walkway. I thought it was the public square. We're going to get to our guests in just a minute, but we want to remind everybody that the video of the show is always available on the Facebook and YouTube. We're also on Twitter and Instagram. And I don't know why I say Twitter and Instagram anymore. I haven't been on Twitter and Instagram in weeks, but we are there in case you want to see what old pictures look like. Our website is beachtalkradionews.com, where you can sign up for our free twice-a-week newsletter. You could download the app so you can receive breaking news when it happens. And the app is available on both the iPhone and Android devices. And, of course, thank you to all of our great local supporting businesses: Island Oils, Fort Myers Tiki Tours, Nervous Nellies, Mangaritas, State Insurance USA, Sun Palace Vacations, La Ola Restaurant, Tuckaway Cafe, Blue Ribbon Events, Beach Pottery, Sunset Beach Tropical Grill, and Shuckers. And finally, our longest and favorite sponsor of all time. He's been here for all 3 years, John and Debbie Lalo at Pete's Timeout. Right behind us, you can see the sign, you can see the crowd, you can see the busy table of guests that we have directly behind us. Later on in the show, we'll have movie trivia from the Beach Theater. We have a great question coming up, and also we'll talk about the news, the TPI news, and also we'll give everyone a violation update, and that's all coming up. But first, our guest number one, Mr. Mount Everest himself, fresh off the mountaintop, Brad Foreman.
The
crowd is
the
going
crowd is
wild.
going wild. You can't hear it, but they are going wild.
Brad, thank you very much for coming on the show. We appreciate it. And tell us a little bit about how you got to Fort Myers Beach first.
Well, firstly, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be on your program. So the story's pretty funny. We came down on vacation in last fall, and Florida we found was such a great place to train. I was in the process of training for the Everest climb. And so we came in October and ended up staying and bought a place in December just up the road from here on Gulf Beach, and absolutely love it. Found that training on the beach, dog friendly, and we fell in love with it.
So how is it that you were training at sea level for something that's clearly well above sea level? How does that work?
Well, so being down here with it wide open during the pandemic, it was just such a healthy environment to train, as opposed to back in the Midwest or anywhere else in the country. So that worked out. And then what I did was 30 days before Everest, we went to Colorado. We have a house up at 10,000 feet above sea level. And I did 30 days of training right before up there.
Brad, what is training for Mount Everest like? I mean, Kim doesn't really work out or train very much. I'm more of the workout person. So what is the training regimen like to climb Mount Everest?
So I try to get in about 3 hours a day, take Sundays off, and so do some strength training in the morning, and then did a lot of beach work. So it's a beautiful 7-mile beach here. So we would walk from our house now down to the point. It's about 3 hours back and forth, and it's excellent.
So when you say 3 hours, are you running, or you're walking, or you're carrying duffel bags on your back, or you're carrying your wife on your back? I mean, what are you doing? What's that all about?
Well, I brought our dog firstly, and then I definitely have a backpack, this thing right here, and I load it up with about 40 pounds.
All right.
And be sweating my butt off.
Mm-hmm. Like you are now. It's hot out here.
Well, you've got us in the sun again, and you're in the shade.
Well,
Protect your skin, huh?
She's so mean to me, Brad. I don't know. You're going to find that out in the next half hour, how mean she is to me. So 3 hours a day. Does that mean your wife is working out with you all 3 hours too? Or do you drop her off at some point?
No. She did quite a majority of the workout. Definitely all the beach stuff.
So how many months are you training before you are off to the mountaintop?
So great question.
Oh, no.
One for me.
Last year, I was going to climb Everest, and because of COVID, it got canceled. So effectively, I've been training for 2 years for this event. Of course, the 3 months before, you really start pushing it, but didn't stop training for basically 2 years.
Got it.
Wow. Now, when you get to Nepal, you went in through Nepal this time. The last time you tried to go in through Bhutan, is that correct?
No. We were scheduled to go on the Tibetan side, through the Chinese, the north route. It's a less traveled route, and unfortunately, it got closed this year, so we had to go the southern route through Nepal.
Is that anywhere near Wuhan?
No.
No?
Oh, gosh.
No? It's not near Wuhan?
No.
Okay, so this was your fourth attempt, or fourth time, or was it your fourth trip, or third?
So I've been to Nepal 4 times. This would be my 4th time.
Okay.
Was my 4th time.
Now, you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but how much does it cost all in for one journey like this year? I mean, it's not cheap to go to do something like this, right? I mean, when you count all the stuff you need, and then the travel, and then the Sherpas, and then everything involved, what is it all in?
It's a pretty big number. Probably 80,000.
80,000
Yeah,
per
that's right.
person that's going to try to go. Now, when you get to the top, is your money sitting there? It's like you grab the bag and you take it back down with you.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't get to the summit, so I didn't get that bag of money.
But it's
But
not.
there isn't one up
There's no
there.
money back anyway.
No.
So the money is spent on the travel and the Sherpas and the food and the tent I mean, what the hell? 80,000. What does the majority of the money go to?
The logistics are unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a team of 26 Sherpas. The support that they give, going up and down, back and forth, carrying gear.
For the people in our live audience at home, watching all around the country, we have lots of people that watch in Ohio and Minnesota, and where else do they watch from? And who knows where?
Wisconsin.
Explain to them. Some out there, might not know what a Sherpa is.
Okay, Sherpas are the indigenous people in the Kumba Valley. That's the valley that leads into Everest, where Everest is located. And the Sherpas are extremely adapted. They've adapted to the higher elevation.
Mm-hmm.
They are super strong and have beautiful personalities.
Yeah.
They're some of the nicest people I've ever met.
And for
My wife's a
what
Sherpa.
Yeah, actually, that's my nickname in my family. For this, and they're small people, so they're light, yet they can carry enormous amounts of weight. Correct?
Like when you say small, do you mean like dwarfs?
No. I just mean they're just stature, and they're
Well, how tall are
not,
they?
They're not tall. They're not heavy. They're
Actually, there's some Sherpas that are pretty big boys.
Yeah.
But
heavy.
Only only
solid.
boys. Any women Sherpas?
yeah, they're definitely women
Okay,
Sherpas. Yeah.
all right.
But not many are on the expedition.
Okay.
They're-
So you were telling us before we came on in the green room, which is table 23, where we used to do the show from, that you go to a spot and then it takes 20 days for you to get to base camp. So you're not even at base camp. You're helicoptering into a spot and then you're hiking 20 days to get to the base camp, and that's really where you start. So the 20-day hike is a warm up.
Yeah, you're doing acclimatization. Okay, so you want to
Which for him, explain to him what that
I know
means.
what that is. You're getting used to the
High
atmosphere
elevation,
and the
right.
elevate. What, by the way, what's the elevation here right now? Because I'm a little out of breath.
I think it's 7 feet.
7 feet above, and the highest part of Mount Everest is what?
29,035 feet. I
A little
believe.
different, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
mhm. So what is the elevation of the bridge?
Let's say maybe 60.
60 feet. Yeah, that's pretty high. That
You
bridge.
get lightheaded on the bridge.
Well, yeah, it depends on how hot it is. So you were saying before she rudely interrupted you was you get to the base camp and then you set up your base.
So base camp is essentially a town that comes alive for 2 months. It's built on a glacier. It's absolutely amazing what these guys do. So each expedition will have their tents set up, a dining tent, and then your tents that you sleep in. So during this particular expedition with COVID, each expedition isolated themselves because of the pandemic threat, which was very unusual. Usually it's a big social environment. With the pandemic, that changed everything. And each expedition stayed to themselves.
And then how long are you at base camp before you make the attempt to go to the top?
So we were in base camp for 4 days, and then you start to do a rotation up onto the mountain. And the first obstacle is the ice falls, which is a very serious obstacle. It's basically 2 miles of crevasses and very ice that's constantly moving.
Right,
Big,
right.
Like some of them are 6 stories high, seracs. It's called a serac, an ice feature. And these things are constantly moving as the sun hits them in the day, warms them up. They start moving and falling. And they actually took the lives of several Sherpas this year where they fell into crevasses. Horrible.
So, Brett,
So wait a minute. So you're going through the falls there at night because that's the safest time.
That's
so
correct.
now you're at night with these big crevasses and you get across them. How? Because this is fascinating.
Okay. So they have this group of professionals. They're called the ice doctors. The ice doctors are the elite Sherpas that go in before any of the expeditions, and they set a path through this very treacherous Kumba ice falls. These guys they work miracles, right? So everybody's life is dependent on how they set this trail. Every year, the trail is different. This year, so there's a couple miles in distance, but we cover 6,000 vertical feet going up and down. And then they'll have these aluminum ladders that are lashed together. And you actually, so it could be several 100-foot crevasse, right? So you go across these crevasses
On an aluminum ladder that looks like it's from Home Depot, lashed together with some standard rope, or is that special ladder, special rope?
It's actually just like the ladder you have in your garage.
Great idea, folks. Great idea.
It's super crazy.
How do you not so when you go across, are you looking straight ahead or do you try to take a peek below?
oops.
Do not look down.
Okay.
That
I'll keep
is
that
rule
in mind if I
one.
get to go.
Don't look down, look forward, and keep moving. You know, you don't want to hesitate at all. The worst thing is you have crampons. Crampons are these spiked things that you put on your boot to get traction on the ice or so you can climb vertical ice. Okay.
They couldn't come up with a better name than Crampons.
Well, I think
That's
that's
something more, a little
exactly
more
what they say.
masculine for something like that.
Go ahead.
The crampon is essential for climbing. And so you gotta put the metal teeth of the crampon in the exact placement as you're climbing the rungs of the ladder or you fall and go into this crevasse. Nasty.
Yeah.
Now you're
Painful death.
You're attached.
Yes, you're roped.
You're roped,
You're
but
totally.
still, you don't want to fall. Just
What do you rope to?
So there'll be a fixed line. So there'll be a nice screw on one end of a rope and then a nice screw on the other end of a rope. So you would have a
Okay.
carabiner attached
Just
to your
okay.
harness.
So you're not falling to your death. The Sherpas
No.
are.
well, you're gonna fall though. I mean, you might whack up against the side of the.
Listen, dear, you've never been to the
I-
mountain. What is this from watching
I've
YouTube
watched
that you
so
think you know
much
of this?
it.
So, Brad, let me. She's monopolizing the whole half hour.
You knew that was gonna
what
happen.
obsesses a person to want to do something like this year after year after year? Why?
It's a good question. The camaraderie of mountaineering is
I missed that. That's
second
2-0.
to none.
Yeah.
The camaraderie, because your life is in your fellow teammates' hands, right? Literally. So there's a bond that builds. It's
How do you find friends like that? I mean, where do you get them? I mean, building a bond. How? Never
so
mind.
like
Don't
when
worry.
you're a
Don't-
freshman in college, you know that first semester,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're thrown
I
into
was-
a very
Through a
vulnerable
difficult-
time.
yes.
I was
right?
240 pounds in my freshman year in college. So no, I don't remember that. I try not to remember that. So anyway,
Now,
forget
let me-
that question.
Let
Go
me
ahead.
ask. Now this is not the only mountain that you have climbed.
No, so I've been on this project for 20 years. So I started with Kilimanjaro in Africa. So 7 summits. It's the highest peak in each of.
How high is the highest peak?
Well,
In which country? Like Kilimanjaro is like 19,000.
Oh, okay.
And that's the
you
highest
mean out
in
of all 7?
Africa. Everest is the
Is the
highest.
Here,
highest.
don't try and quiz me on this like you're trying to make me look like an idiot.
I was trying to ask you if you that was your question.
Did you see the guy behind us
So
riding
you-
the bike? So that's
You started years ago
riding your
with
bike.
this
Comes
goal to
another
do
one.
all 7 summits.
Where's code enforcement when you
Say
need
that
them?
again?
You started years ago.
Yeah.
To do,
Another
the
one.
goal was
Watch
to do
behind me.
all 7 summits.
Watch
That's
behind me.
correct.
And are you
Another lawbreaker.
are you doing this for a
Hi.
purpose?
Yeah, so I've been doing it with a charity. It's Foreman7project.org, where all the funds that we raise go to
Oh,
help
cool.
kids that need.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Is it per mile or per step or?
It's all based on, philanthropic.
Okay,
gifts.
so it's not like if you get up 2 miles or I mean, how high? How many miles is 29,000 feet? I don't even know.
Is it?
So that would
Okay,
be
see, that's a good question too.
Yeah.
But we'll leave the bell out on that one, dear.
5,000.
So when you get to base camp after the 20-mile jog or warm up, how many miles? I mean, how many more days would it take you if you got to the top? Like, let's say you're having some, you're feeling your oats and you're making some good time.
So there are two theories. There's rapid ascent.
Mhm.
Some Sherpas can do this crazy couple day exercise where they'll get to the summit. Westerners, at least a month, starting from base camp, 3 rotations. The 3rd rotation, you go for the summit. So you go up and down.
So
up and down.
the whole all in time wise, it's like three months, right? Or
2 months.
2 months. So
Yeah,
I
2
mean,
months.
how do you get a note to your boss about stuff like that? I mean, you take.
He is
I'm
his
thinking-
boss.
Okay, your own boss. Gotcha. Right. Okay.
It is a huge time commitment.
Yeah.
And
That boss, I don't know. He probably
right.
got a note from her.
Yeah. Did you bring her a present back from? Is there a gift shop at the bottom of the mountain where you can pick up a snow globe
well,
or something?
Speaking of gifts, I brought back from Everest.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
This is called
One of the prayers?
Akata.
I'll hold the microphone for you.
It's called Akata, one for you.
Oh.
This is from Everest.
Oh, that's
And
so
What is that?
nice.
Did you take that off a falling Sherpa? Is that what that is? Or
The kata was given to me as it brings you good luck.
Oh, wow.
You can keep it.
she's gonna need 2.
And you put it on your backpack.
Oh.
I carried it with me the whole way up to
So you put
21,000.
it on your back.
How do you wash these? Or I mean, is there a
Very
special?
carefully.
Yeah.
I've never washed them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very nice.
So enjoy
I'm
that.
gonna put this on my backpack.
So, what was the other question I wanted to ask? Now, I want to make sure we don't forget. You have one or not?
Well, no, I was just going to say that he also shares something in common with us. Now we have these and he has this, but you also do a podcast.
Oh, yeah. I have a podcast where I try to help people learn about mountaineering
Okay.
and how that goes. It's peakspodcast.rocks. And you can find that in any of the podcast platforms.
And I listened to a couple of them.
Yes.
So you were in Antarctica.
Yeah, Antarctica was one of my favorites. It's Vincent down there. It's a very tricky place to get to. Also, a little expensive.
I was going to say that's the one. I was like, how high is it? Because
So-
it's not, I don't think it's that.
It's only 16,000, but
Okay. But it's where it is.
Oh, I know.
It's so tricky to get to logistically. It's insane.
So-
And it's cold.
Yeah, 35 below, typical. Yeah.
So, Brad, let's talk about the specific climb. Like, I'm sure people are like, get to the climb. So you get to base camp and you're making your way up the mountain. And what happened to you? Like, explain what happened to you, because there was an issue.
I'm 59. I was 59. Now I'm 60. But I got to just above 21,000 feet. It is called Camp 2. And beautiful camp, all on glacier. Our camp was at the top of the area of Camp 2. And so part of the protocol is to test. It's called a pulse ox. You put it on the tip of your finger. Maybe you're familiar with this. And it measures the oxygen in your blood. Well, I took a test before.
And it should be, like 98, 99, 100%.
You probably up there, you're going to be in the 80s.
Yeah.
Because you're up so
Right.
high.
But I mean,
you
want
if you
to
were
be-
here, it would
yeah.
be you want to be 95, 100.
Right.
Mine was at 54.
Ooh.
So a whole bunch of red flags went up. My expedition leader started making calls. It was too late to evacuate that night. So I went on to oxygen as a precaution. I also had a cough, and the cough was aggravated by the high elevation. So there was possible fluid in my lungs. So this is not a good combination. So as a abundance of caution, I got a helicopter ride from 21,000 feet, an extremely high elevation to be rescued from. And within an hour, I was down in Kathmandu at their finest hospital, and I checked out okay. Everything was fine. Unfortunately, I was unable to get reinsured to go back up. So my trip ended abruptly with that.
So if you were able to get reinsured, would they put you back in the spot where you got picked up?
No.
You have to start-
I go
back.
Well, I'd probably fly back into base. The plan was to fly into a town below base camp and hike up and meet my team. And I had actually was in the hotel washing my clothes because I was planning on going back up.
Oh, wow.
And had my clothes drying at the Hyatt there on the furniture. And when I got a call from the insurance company saying, hey, we will not reinsure. So it was.
Okay, this is a dumb question, but what do you mean the insurance for in case you fall into the crevasse?
So it's called Evacuation Insurance,
Oh.
and you buy it through this specialty company. Because my understanding was my evacuation was around 50,000, so it can be very costly. And mine was not that complicated. If you had a medical situation, like if you fell into a crevasse and a rescue, it could surpass that amount.
Yeah.
So you need to be insured to be up there.
Now, when people get up to Camp 3 and then Camp 4 and then go up, at what point are they starting to use oxygen?
So you use
Supplemental
oxygen around 26,000.
Not till then.
Yeah,
Wow.
because it's a very precious commodity. So
yeah.
you don't want to blow through it.
So let's talk about the COVID issue, which I was totally baffled by when I heard there was a COVID issue outside in the cold, and it didn't make any sense to me that it could be passed around. How you doing?
Yeah, heartbreaking situation. Nepal did not close their border to India. You may have heard that India had some crazy outbreaks of COVID for real. Some Indians got into the area, the Kumbh, and so COVID spiked. There was possibly as much as a 30% positivity. And so many of the expeditions had to pull the plug. After all that hard work, my expedition had to pull the plug.
So none of the folks in your expedition were able to go up?
Heartbreaking. They spent another month after I left, and then they had to be flown out. They couldn't even hike out. So they had to pay to be flown out on their own dime because they didn't want to infect anybody in the villages going back. So just a very difficult situation for my teammates.
And when people are going up, it's like there's somebody watching like every second the weather and picking one day.
Yes, there's actually
like a window.
The window was extremely poor this year. There was a quick early window, and then 2 typhoons came through that made it extremely difficult to summit. So the number of summits were much lower than in past years. As low as, I don't have a final number, but maybe 100 as opposed to maybe 400.
Wow.
So now that your adventures are over, are you doing another one?
So I have one more in Papua New Guinea, Karstens. It's a very tricky mountain to get to because there's tribal warfare going on over there for the last 2 years. Literally headhunters are fighting, and it's super dangerous. So they've closed off the whole area, and that's been going for, that with the pandemic, right, has been very difficult on Indonesia. But I have an expedition team over there that I've prepaid, and when it opens up, I'm heading to Papua New Guinea.
Did you ever worry about getting kidnapped? Because you hear about that crap all the time around the world. They love to kidnap Americans. No? You're hesitating on that. It's a yes or no, Brad. Come on, man.
I don't try to focus in on those kind of things. It's you just hit them with the crampon. Yeah.
But you're with a group of people. You're
with Sherpas.
Right. There's precautions that are taken. Let me put it that way.
Wow. So that's so what's your training now to get ready for that? What are you doing?
I'm doing my beach hikes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Here in beautiful Fort Myers.
Yeah.
I just want to ask, how many women were in your expedition?
We had 3 women. one from South Africa,
Give me ideas.
one
I don't have
from-
$80,000 to give you.
I think I don't know. Go ahead.
England, and one from Canada.
Now, do you have to go through a test to be accepted? Because they're not just going to be like, hey, yeah, come on, let's go. Or are they?
Now, that's a great question. Extremely important to pre-qualify all the teammates. And all of our team had been on some big mountains before. Denali, all of the team had summited Denali except for one person. So Denali is...
That's sort of the litmus test for people?
That's a toughie. And
is it?
Yeah,
it is
very tough.
Because that's the only one that's like within reach of geography for me. But
yeah, that's the peak in North America, and obviously it's a beauty, but it's a long trip and it's a hard one because you got to carry all your gear yourself. You don't have Sherpas on Denali.
That's true.
So it's
sled dogs. No,
you do bring a sled.
Okay.
So you're carrying half of your 120 pounds on your sled and half on your back. So, and that also has crevasses, but nothing like the ice falls.
Don't tell me that.
Well, Brad, thank you so much for coming on, and thank you for the gifts, and thank you for coming back alive. And good luck with the next one. Is this the last one?
This will be the last of the 7, and them will probably be doing waterfalls and lakes.
What about the world's toughest mudder? We could do that together.
Possible. I heard you guys are real good at that.
No, she is. Brad Foreman, everybody. Big round of applause for Brad.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Brad, Mr. Mount Everest right here. All right, dear. I'm going to take care of this very first ad I'm going to take care of because it's mucho important. Because today I was noticing when I was sitting down in the chair at table 23, the no-see-ums are out, and they were on I had the suntan spray on, and they were getting on the suntan spray, and I was whacking them, and so I wish I had the Don't Itch It spray that you can get by going online to don'titchit.com and islandoilsllc.com because they have the spray and they have the roll-on, and it smells fabulous. And it's all natural insect spray made with 100% essential oils. Now's the time because it's getting hotter out there. And the last thing you want is bugs all over you and up your nose and in your ears. And so you want to get that online. It's made here, right here in Florida, right here on the beach. And they're cool people. They're nice people. And we appreciate them being a sponsor of the show. You can also buy it at Bait and Wait. I'm not exactly sure where Bait and Wait is, but you can buy it there at Bait and Wait. You can buy it at Snook Hut Bait and Tackle. For goodness sake, the Lighthouse Island Resort, which I know is right kind of across from us. So don'titchit.com, one of our long sponsors there. We appreciate those guys. And don't forget, we have movie trivia coming up later on in the show. At the end, we're going to ask a movie trivia question. And the Beach Theater has 2 tickets for you. For the winner when we ask that question. So stay tuned for that. I don't think I want to wear this because I'm getting it all sweaty, and that's the last thing I want to do is get it all sweaty. So there was a code enforcement officer here about 5 minutes ago and took our picture. So I guess we'll see what happens after that. He did not give us a violation, which I wish they would just give us the violation. Come on over, guys. She's supposed to be helping out with the next guest, but this is routine for us. Come on over, guys. But they just took one picture and they walked away, and that was that. So I don't know. Maybe they're building a case against us, dear. That's what they're trying to do. They're building a case against us. So right now our guests are David Brown, the president, and I want to make sure, dear, come on.
I'm sorry.
There's a microphone over there for FISA. Is it FISA?
FISA, yeah.
FISA, okay.
Yeah,
and
thank you for getting that right.
Camera's right there. Yeah. And you guys are from, I know we're here for Reeling for Autism.
Yes, Family Initiative.
Family Initiative. Okay. What's Family Initiative?
So it's a nonprofit organization here in the community that provides support services for children and adolescents diagnosed in the autism spectrum.
Okay. And what do you guys do for the organization? I mean, what does the president do? Obviously, you run everything. You run the ship.
Yeah, we quarterback the operations of what we're doing. And so really our goal and a lot of the work that our whole team does, one, we provide clinical services for kids and adolescents on autism spectrum. So For the folks at home, supposed to be applied behavior analysis or occupational therapy services.
You don't have to rush, by the way. You're fine. We have time. No, we don't have
the
to.
best part, it's my Boston kicking in. I talk 100 miles an hour.
Boston, oh boy.
So ABA, occupational therapy, right, are the two things that we work on clinically. But the big thing which we do, which we love, is we also offer a strong array of community-based programs and resources. So, a lot of the things that our kiddos struggle with, social skills, building relationships, making connections with other folks, those kinds of things. So a lot of the community-based programs, we focus on that. But the part that I like is those programs are fun.
Yeah.
So we do art classes. We have a hip hop dance class we do with the Alliance of the Arts. We have an acting improv class, music class.
Wow.
We have a play group, fun play group. So everything we do is fun. The kids have a great time. It's enriching because they're learning new things, learning how to play football, right? Learning how to dance. But in doing that, they're building connections and building relationships. So that
I'm working
part is
on those social skills.
You got it.
So you
No,
do
you were
do
re-
adults,
You
right?
were, you were reeling
All right.
those. You were
We
reeling
can hook
those.
you up.
You were reeling those things off, and I thought, well, those kids aren't autistic. They sound fine to me. We're
Yeah.
going
Well,
through the
no,
same
they
stuff.
gotta, but they're working on.
Faiza, what do you do there?
So I'm the director of development at Family Initiative. And so what I do is I get out in the community and spread the word about autism and what our organization does. And so, he was talking about the programs and everything. Like, we're going to go to playgroup right now
We
after
are.
this, and we're going to play basketball, roll around with the kids. We're going to
Cool.
color seashells today. But it's a structured play. So they don't even realize that they're being social. And here we are going, hey, let's go play with this one over here. Let's go try this. There's therapy dogs that come in today. So it's a lot of fun for us. And then on top of that, we do events. We do a lot of events. This is our 3rd or 4th annual fishing tournament that we've done down here on Fort Myers Beach. It was a great community.
Yeah.
The
Reeling for Autism, right?
Reeling for Autism, and go to reelingforautism.com. That first prize is $4,000 for the fishing tournament.
Explain what it is.
So on June 19th, over at Salty Sam's Marina with Parrot Key and the Shrimp Dock, we are hosting along development a fishing tournament. And there's lots of family activities. We got a water slide bounce house. We've got life-size bowling, life-size Jenga. We're working closely with Matt and John over there and putting together a captain's meeting the night before on the 18th. On the 19th will be the actual tournament. We got
And they'll be going out on boats or
on
fishing.
boats.
Oh, okay.
You can you leave at 7:30 in the morning. It's an honor system. You go out. We're gonna make some rulers, and you'll be sending in pictures of the fish. David right here and the captain.
Be checking out them fish.
We'll be checking out those pictures and then giving out the cash prizes.
Forgive me if this is a dumb question, but are some of the kids going on the boats?
So that's a great question. We have 2 families that are bringing kids.
He said
out.
great. He didn't say good. He said great. Three for Eddie, 1 for Kimmy.
3-1.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. So
Back to you.
to us, I think that's the fun part of it is the families can bring their kids out, and it's a phenomenal experience for them to get out in the water. And I think everything that we do, we really work to integrate our families in all the activities. So, Foz has done a phenomenal job. All the folks in the community for setting up events and helping out that day of. It's going to be awesome. So even if folks are not interested in going out in the water and all that kind of stuff, they can come and have a great time, connect with our staff, get more resources and information for kids on the spectrum.
Now,
And is there a cost for families to participate in the activities that you provide and the events?
So for our families who are coming, who are like our families, they're part of our organization. They're not going to. We have small nominal fees. Like if you want to go down the water slide, it's going to cost you maybe $1. Okay. And it's not going to cost you. It's a donation.
Right.
And every single dollar that we get, these guys, David and Angela, who started this, they put it back into, everything goes back into the company. I've never seen anything like it. They don't take anything for themselves. It just goes into more and more programs. We actually have a basketball
We do.
camp right now.
We just started a program in partnership with the YMCA here in Fort Myers. So we got a basketball league that was started. It's an autism basketball league. That's been fantastic. And we're adding a sibling group in a couple of weeks. So every couple of weeks, we got new programs coming online. And so really whatever the families communicate to us is a need, we get busy building it.
how many kids are in the program?
Yeah, that's a great question. So last year we served.
There
You gotta let me get a question in.
I was gonna say,
Great.
There, you got to
That's
ask
not
one.
You gotta ask.
You got to ask a good one.
I love it. I love it. So we serve just under 700 kids across the community.
Holy moly.
So, I mean, it just speaks volumes about the need. And our organization's grown a lot in the last couple of years. And, I don't think it's so much about family initiative. I think it speaks to the need in our community about, families that have children on the spectrum.
Do you have a location where?
Yeah. So we're incredibly fortunate. So the collaboratory, Representative Dane Eagle, Senator Elizabeth Benequisto worked with our organization to get funding. We built a brand new autism support center in Cape Coral, a 4,000 square foot space that was designed in concert with our parents. And so everything in the building was designed intentionally to support individuals on the autism spectrum, to meet sensory needs and to work on specific things that they might need. So, the generosity and the leadership from our folks here in the region has been phenomenal. The space is gorgeous.
You meant former Representative Dane Eagle.
Yes.
He's no longer, he lost to Byron Donalds, who's been on our show. Well, Dane was on our show too. Very nice guy.
Great.
He's working for the governor now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's his title, dear?
He's working as a secretary of, I can't remember.
He's not a secretary.
Okay.
He's not a
No, I
secretary,
don't mean like,
dear.
like
Yeah,
not
he's,
like
he's
that
way more than a
secretary.
secretary.
Economic
dear.
opportunities.
Sounds
Nice.
good to
I
us.
think
Yeah.
that-
Did you think he should have won?
I'm not really
close.
into politics too much.
No.
I think they're both great guys.
So-
Yeah.
How long has Family Initiative been around? What's the
This is
history?
5 years ago. So we
Wow.
started 5 years ago. And Anjali, Eileen Webster, and I, three of us kind of in a kitchen on a napkin, kind of coming up with an idea and a concept. Talked to a lot of families, try to figure out what they needed. It started with one program, and now it's a lot of programs.
Yeah.
And it's been the joy of my life to do this.
Very cool.
Is this what you do full time?
It's what I do full time now.
Wow.
Last year we started full tilt doing this.
Now, are there openings in the fishing tournament?
There are openings in the fishing tournament. Yes,
So
sir.
how do people?
All right, can I talk about
yes,
that?
let's do
That
it.
is a,
Have
that is a
Come on,
great
Faiza.
thing for us to talk about. So I was down here last night on the beach, and everybody right around here was so supportive. I went to Mango Rita's.
Yeah.
I went to
They were-
Placa's. I went here, and they all just donated gift
Oh yeah,
cards.
they're great.
And then the guy that owns Placa, he
Yeah.
put together a team.
Wow.
So we need anglers.
Oh, well,
okay?
oh,
We
he's-
do.
oh,
big.
oh.
He's big.
He's-
I tried to get a
He's-
custom rod for
Yes.
him. He's 2 years
Yes.
backed up.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's crazy.
He's-
So
oh,
we
see
need
the biker
fishermen.
behind
You
us?
can go to reelingforautism.com and you can register online. All the rules, regulations, waivers, everything is there. It's $200 per angler. But remember, you're going to get $4,000 in cash if you win. And
Yeah.
when you come on down, there's going to be stuff to do. We have a captain's meeting the night before. There's going to be a dinner and cocktails there. We got a dinner right after.
Did Pete donate?
I haven't even been in there. They
All
were
right,
so
because John,
busy
the
last
owner's
night.
asking now, so
Yeah,
he's
okay, well-
he's
There you
angry
go,
now
John,
that you didn't ask
don't
him.
be angry.
You're the man,
It's
John.
going to be
You're the
great.
man.
I'm going to
Yeah.
come see you right now.
His brother's in there. His brother Peter was in there. I don't know if he's still in there, but I forgot what I was going to ask. Damn, that never happens on the show.
Yeah,
But the $4,000. Listen, if you win the $4,000,
Here we
don't
go.
be a cheapskate and keep the money. That's BS. It's for the kids. You better give the money right back. And when you hand that money to them, Faiza, you stand right there and just look them in the eye and say,
Here
"Are you going to keep all that money?" I mean,
I have Mosa.
yeah. I mean, especially if they have a nice boat.
Yeah.
If they have a
We'll
really
take the
nice
boat, too.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
So,
we'll take the
come on.
boat. Yeah.
You know, now it's a catch and release, right?
Yes.
Is there ever a time where you're allowed to keep the fish on this anywhere around here? Is there
I
any
don't
type
think-
of fish you're allowed to keep?
I am not an angler, so I can't
I
speak
don't-
well to that.
I think if you bring your little pet fish, like
Yeah.
your beta, and you keep it in the boat
Your
with
goldfish?
you, like
I
he
don't
can
know
be
what that
there
means.
for support.
I don't
bring
think
your
you're
fish
allowed to
around.
keep any fish. Are you?
No,
Yeah.
but I think you not in fishing tournaments, but if
I-
you go
yeah.
out on a charter, I think
Yeah,
you
right.
can.
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh yeah. By
Yeah.
the way, anybody who has charters
Great
available,
prize. That would be a
like,
great prize.
call me 239-691-0839.
She needs to
Yeah, that would
break
be
out of her
great.
shell a little
A
bit
little
if she's
bit.
going
I'm
to keep
kinda
this
shy, I
position.
know.
Good director of development right there.
So
I need
plug and
money.
plug and
I
plug.
need fishermen. I'm a woman. I will take any form of
wait a
payment.
second now. What does that have to do with anything? Wait, back off the wait. Hey, so I'm going to let that roll.
Yeah.
So what is your next planned event?
Yeah, that's a good one. So you want to talk about casino night?
Yeah, so
I won't
October
hit the bell for that
22nd
one.
in Cape Coral at the Yacht Club.
Wow,
We're gonna have
the
casino
Yacht
night
Club.
there, and that is turning out to be really, really amazing. I'm working with Jessica Van Hart from Van Hart Provisions, and we're gonna have a couple of Lamborghinis there. We're gonna do a diamond drop.
You're giving away Lamborghinis.
We're not giving them
Oh,
away.
just showing
but
them
they're
off.
gonna be there, but we're gonna have
So
rentals.
people can see them.
Maybe
yeah,
roped
we're
off
gonna
another biker.
raffle off rentals.
That'd be
Another
fun
biker
day.
breaking
Who
the
knows
rules.
if I
Two.
talk to the right
Two.
guy? Maybe I can
No
get a
code
Lamborghini.
enforcement
It would
writing
be
tickets for
great.
Yeah,
that.
that's
No,
right.
Again, Lamborghinis 239-691-0839.
You keep giving out your phone number for some reason. What is that all about there? All
That way
right.
you can call me directly and we can get this handled now.
Did
That's
we
right.
did we miss anything about your organization or the fishing tournament that you want to make sure people know about?
No, I just think the piece for us, which is huge, is obviously day of, raising revenue for the programs is great. We like to get the families together. And I think so many of the programs that we had over the years, what we've seen is the more the families connect, they are such a phenomenal resource to one another. I know the band of families we have now, and it's definitely a tribe. They take care of each other. They help each other. I think they each go through their own individual challenges in particular times. And so for us, I think just getting people connected is a huge thing.
I'm very kid friendly. Is there a chance that I could just come to the place one day and just grab 2 or 3 and bring them home and swim in the pool?
Well, you know
and
what? If you'll go into our occupational therapy room and you into one of our beanie swings and take a picture.
Beanie swings
Yeah,
with the
there you
kids
go.
will just swing you back and forth.
Absolutely.
Do you have volunteers for that?
We'll spin you around a little bit, right?
Are you joking?
Dave will volunteer.
We'll take you up on it.
No,
Come on
we
out.
will.
We'd
Come
love
on
that.
out. Come out to
You
the
should
center.
go out and see
You
it.
guys should.
Where is the location again?
Cape Coral.
Yeah, it's right at the intersection of Pine Island and Skyline Boulevard.
Very
Okay.
cool. Well, it's nice
Behind
that.
Carrabba's and all.
And so 700 kids. How do you fit them all in that one building?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we provide a lot of community-based.
Or it's just great question.
It's a runaway.
We'll
It's
take
a
the
runaway.
contribution after.
It's a runaway.
Wow.
You are
I
getting your
swear
butt
you
kicked,
must be
wife.
paying him today.
Jeez. Wow.
So we do a lot of community-based and in-home services too. So the building's just one opportunity we have to work with families. So we do stuff all across Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Lehigh. So we got into families' homes and provide services too.
100% donations, or you get state funds
So we
and
get some
grants.
state funds, we get some grants. We do kind of a mixed approach to how we get resources to support our kids and families.
Do you have any plans to get a satellite place
Yeah,
or?
that's a great question.
That is a great question.
Oh, I got two.
Now they're just playing games with you. By the way, Fiza, John just called Terry, who works here.
Yeah.
Terry, you'll know who Terry
He'll
is.
say- yeah.
She'll yell at you.
Nice.
Okay.
She
John
got
Terry,
you got
yell
two
at me.
you got 2 gift
Right.
packages coming from Pete's
Thank
Time
you
Out, and a big
so
round of
much.
applause from our artificial audience for John Lalo digging deep into his wallet there and
You
pulling
know
some
what?
out.
I'm just
Thank you,
gonna
John.
say Fort Myers Beach.
Crazy.
These small businesses that I have gone into, you are amazing. Thank you so much just for the overwhelming support. Every $50 gift card, every pair of sunglasses, everything is just, I'm overwhelmed and I don't have words for the gratitude.
I think
And
tears are
I
coming
barely
down.
have lots of words.
Listen, did you go to have
I'm
you
really
gone
speechless.
have you gone to SOB yet?
I haven't been down that.
Okay, go to
yeah,
Reed
yeah.
at SOB
Okay.
and then go
Yeah.
to Nervous Nellies and
I got the
ask
hookup
those
at
guys.
Nervous Nelly.
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
and
Yeah,
then
Tyler and
yeah,
Freddie are
all those
pretty good
guys
to
are
me down
very
there.
good. Everybody's
Didn't they
good.
host it one? Wasn't
Yes,
it? Yeah.
yes, they
You got
did.
it.
There's one place you don't want to go to if you go down this way to the road. You'll
Stop.
notice
You
it's
go to
something
every
that looks like it's
place.
going to implode. You want to stay away from that because it's an injury waiting
Now
to happen.
every place.
No,
can
they're very good
participate.
about. I take that back. They are
Yeah.
very good about giving things away. So you should go to that
Everybody
place
has
too.
Yep.
been.
Just kidding.
Everybody's been great.
Just kidding.
So if
about
there's
that.
any
They do a lot.
businesses out there, anybody that's listening, please
Yeah,
give her a
It's for the
call
kids,
at
man.
239-691.
691-0839. We'll
I
plan.
almost have it memorized.
We will plan an event together. And
Very
you know
nice.
what? When you hook up with a nonprofit organization like where the president is rolling around with the kids on the floor, that's an organization you
Yeah.
want to get with.
Very
and it
nice.
can be mutually beneficial to both of us.
very nice.
awesome.
Right? That's what we
And again,
need.
the fishing tournament is
June 19th.
June 19th
June
at Salty Sam's
Yep.
Marina.
Shrimp dog.
And how many total boats will be in? As many as you can
well,
fit.
we're hoping to get at least 250,000 boats. But,
Where are you gonna fit them all?
We'll take 200 if we can.
200 boats. That'd be a lot.
You know?
That would
Yeah.
be a lot.
Yeah.
And it's 200 to enter.
Uh-huh.
All right, very cool. All right.
200 or four? Oh,
200 to
per
enter.
angler. But if you
Okay.
look at our sponsorship packages when you go on Reeling for Autism, if you get those big sponsorship
Oh.
packages, those $10,000 ones, $5,000 ones, even the $2,500 ones, we're throwing in anglers.
You got to go down the Hoosiers. Captain Mark just chimed in and said he has a
Hoosiers
grandson with
down that way.
autism. He wants you to come down and see him.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Fantastic.
So
On the left.
Hoosiers is about
I know
a half
exactly
a mile
where
on the
it
left.
is.
Yeah.
Dynamite.
Very, very nice
Upstairs.
people. See, everybody's nice on this.
They
Well,
really,
not
really are.
everybody, but most people.
Most people.
Have you gone to town hall yet and asked for a
You
contribution?
know what? I actually ran into, I thought the guy was building the house and he was actually the inspector. So I was like, hey, do you fish? And he was like, well, no, but he took my flyer and put it up in town hall. God bless
Nice.
you.
Nice.
Well, in all likelihood, they'll take money from you, not give money to you, because it is government. But
Let's just keep on
I'm
this
sorry.
You
stuff.
know what? I reached out to Jackie Lezak.
oh yeah,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
not government. She's not
Her and
government.
Sherry Oaks.
Oh, yeah.
She donated a night at the Sea Gypsy, and
Yep.
then we're going to become members at the chamber. So
Oh, look at
welcome
that!
us.
Wow.
Working the
And-
crowd. Jackie is working the crowd.
and then
Very
we're
nice.
we'll be down here on the beach hanging out with you guys.
All right.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to that.
Well,
Yes.
thank you guys so much for coming on, and we'll see you at the tournament. Maybe we can come down and do
That would
like a
be
live
Please,
broadcast or
please.
something.
That would
Personal
be
What's the
invitation.
code situation down there? You have any idea? Oh, never mind. I'll figure it out.
Just
Never
ignore
mind.
him.
It's a whole
It's an
long thing.
inside thing.
We like to, well, me, I don't want to
doing
speak
that.
for him, but I do things and then I asked for
Yeah,
forgiveness later.
No
yeah.
permission.
I hear
It'll
what
be
you're
a
saying.
blast. It'll be a lot
I hear
of
what
fun.
you're saying.
It'll be lots
Thank you
of fun.
guys. Big hand
Of
for the
course.
folks from Family
Thank you guys for having
Initiative.
us.
And the fishing tournament is June 19th. It's called Reeling for Autism. So we hope to see you over there. And thanks again for coming out. Enjoy the great day on the beach.
Thank
We
you
really
so much.
Have a
appreciate
great
it.
day.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Before we get to our grand finale, I want to make sure we tell you about our great friends down at the Beach Pottery. The Beach Pottery is located down before you get to the bridge. I think you call that San Carlos Boulevard, where it's pots, and more pots. Not pots. Stop thinking pot, people. It's pots. They have pots, and more pots. They have, in addition to the pots, they have large glazed planters. There's nothing better than a glazed planter, because I don't want one of those plain planters in my backyard. I want one of those glazed planters because, it glazes. You have to have glaze next to the pool. It looks flat without the glaze. And they also have water fountains and local original art. They have the chainsaw wood carving guy in the backyard. Whee-ah! He's doing the chainsaw thing. I don't know if he's making those noises or not, but he cuts a badass piece of wood into something that's, wow, look at these things, really cool. They have marble and metal sculptures and weatherproof outdoor furniture, souvenirs, gifts, and jewelry and beachwear. And I think they have a coffee bar now, too. So Beach Pottery is the place you want to go to get pots and, the glazed planters. I think I need to focus a little bit more on the glazed planters. It's my favorite.
Those guys also wanted to remind everyone or invite everyone that's donating or not donating to come on down to the event so that they can see what goes on, meet these guys, see what they do, and just, get a better appreciation for folks who are on the spectrum. So anyways, I'm going to be talking about.
Is that the proper way to say it? People that are on the spectrum? Is that?
I mean, I think
everybody
there's-
gets offended by things these days. So is that the proper way of saying it? And
Well,
by the way, I bailed you out today. I mean, you needed to tap out. You got your ass kicked so many times today. It was like, I think the
You
last
guys
one was
had
a
an-
pity one.
You had an agreement. It was for sure, but I think you had an agreement
was
with
no
David
agreement.
prior to.
There was no agreement.
I'm thinking you did.
Please
I'm
read,
thinking you
read,
did.
so we
All
can
right.
get on with our stuff.
Fort Myers Tiki Tours. Go out there for a nice ride through the bay on this cute little tiki boat that seats up to 6 people. They provide the captain, the ice, and the cooler. You bring yourself, your friends, your food, and anything you would like to drink. It's a 90-minute tour up and down. Everyone will be taking your picture because you look like a rock star on this cute little boat. You can go out for sunset tours, a dolphin cruise, birthday parties, anniversary. We went out for Father's Day. You can go out for Mother's Day, family fun, any kind of special occasion. They can be reached at 239-887-0042 or FortMyersTikiTours.com. We love them. We've done it. It's a lot of fun. So go out there, make your reservations now.
Father's Day is coming up. In case you missed the open before, here it is again. We'll be back with movie trivia right after this.
They put the B in business.
Beach Talk Radio is a business. We do not allow businesses. They weren't allowed to sell things that they were making there. The other people in that plaza pay huge rents in order to conduct business in Times Square. To allow a business to be a street performer, Beach Talk Radio is a business.
Now it's time to get down to business with a capital B. Business is hopping here on Fort Myers Beach in the public square where Beach Talk Radio is broadcasting live. Here are your hosts, Kim and Ed Ryan.
All right, everybody, it is time for movie trivia. Your chance to win 2 tickets to see a movie down at the Beach Theater on Estero Boulevard. Are you ready? First person to type the right answer in the chat box wins 2 tickets to the Beach Theater. Screening at the Beach Theater this week is the sci-fi horror film sequel, A Quiet Man 2. In the first movie, what toy was Evelyn's son Bo playing when he was attacked? What toy was Evelyn's son Bo playing?
I didn't watch it.
I've never heard of either of these movies, but that's just me. I don't get out of the house much.
Out very much. But I mean, I could think of a toy that a child might play with, but I don't want to
Take a guess. I don't think you'll get it right.
So say it again. It was the.
All right, let me repeat.
At the beach?
Let me repeat the question for those of you that did not hear it the first time. Screening at the Beach Theater this week is the sci-fi horror film, a sequel to The Quiet Man. It's called. All right, Jeffrey Van Dyke is the winner.
Really nice,
Jeffrey. Jeffrey, private message me your email or send me or text me 239-247-3833 and I will
run on down. You have it with you right now?
I will hook you up. No, I got to send it over to Janine and you get 2 tickets. It was the space shuttle or a space shuttle. Wow, that was good. He was good. He's probably good at trivia too, though. All right, so what do you want to talk about, wife? The first thing I want to get everybody, I ask you a question, then I answer it, is let everybody know that one of the reasons.
That's a great question, dear.
Thank you. One of the reasons that we're sitting this way is just to help the code enforcement officers out with the bicycles that ride by. It's illegal to ride bicycles in the Times Square area. There's actually an ordinance on the books that says you're not allowed to ride your bike in the Times Square. And there's a sign on one end and there's a sign on the other end. So just in case you need video evidence of the people that are riding by on their bikes, you can watch episode number 167 of Beach Talk Radio. The other thing I wanted to tell you about was when I was riding my 48.4 miles, I looked down at the thing and I shut it off and I was like, what an idiot. You can't just ride another 1.5 miles up and down the road. You got to do 48.4 miles. I was coming down thanks to Steve.
Slacker.
Thanks to Steve, who said to me that the lighting. Let's talk about the lighting. The lighting, like from Bonita. He said the lighting from Bonita, where you go to docks.
Yeah.
It works. The lighting works, and I never really took notice of it because it's dark. So I usually have my lights on, but the lights are on the other side. Well, the lighting does work down there, and I wonder why it works for them. It's white lights. They're white lights. Now, isn't that considered a beach area for the turtles? It's pretty close on that road.
I don't even know. You lost me. It was such a long explanation.
No, the lights on Bonita are white lights. They're about 20 feet in the air.
So before Fort Myers Beach, on that road, that beach road, I think
way before, like docks, when you're making the turn to come this way, all the way down the other end, Bonita.
I don't know, but I know that there's many houses that are very large, that are very close together.
For sure.
And so it may be that
I don't know. I don't think Eve would put up with that even.
Well, maybe there's not an Eve down there. I don't know.
I'm just saying. But what I noticed too was you could not see any of the light behind it, even though the houses were there. You couldn't see it, but it wasn't uniform, and that's one of the problems or one of the issues they're dealing with. They want to make sure it's uniform. There were spots where the light you could see the light shining down, and then there was a black spot, and then there was another light. But part of the problem was the trees weren't cut. The trees were covering the lights in a couple of the areas. And then so I get over the last bridge, the fishingest bridge in the universe, and there were some lights on. It wasn't like they shut them off. There's lights down on the other end of this island when you get over the bridge.
Yeah.
So it's totally confusing what's going on. There are definitely some lights on down there. I don't know if they're the high sodium pressure lights or high pressure sodium lights that they're trying to get rid of, but there were lights down there too. So I didn't see too many that were turned off. So it was all of it's confusing to me. So on
you're not helping the situation either.
Well,
you're just murkying the water.
On June 7th, they'll be talking about it at the council meeting. So if you want to learn more about the lights or listen to more confusion about the lights, then.
And I would like to say on a positive note that Murph is here with one of their pop-up educational
Jennifer
things.
Rusk.
Yep.
Is she over there? Can you go grab her?
There.
Can you go grab her and ask her to come over?
No, she's busy.
Yeah.
She can't
Jennifer,
leave that
she's
alone.
like talk about FISA. Jennifer is a bubbly personality as well.
Oh, and Louise is over there.
Why don't you go over there then? If I'm boring you with the show, why don't you go over there?
Oh, we're almost done.
The last thing we want to talk about is the whole TPI thing. It was an interesting week for TPI and the Margaritaville thing. And I just want to say those people that are out there that are trying to torpedo and be negative about the hotel and be negative. You've been negative like the Pages and the Joes and that group that just wants to spike the thing. And they've been in the Lonnie Kai's court from the beginning, and they don't want the project. They never did want the project because they want it to remain a slum like it is now.
Well, but there you go. Well, I think there's when you have an issue, there's always going to be people on one side that like it, people on the other side that don't like it. You have made your opinion about the place down the road very evident. And so,
by the way, so we can make things clear. So for those of you that are new, that might not have known, we've never taken money from TPI. We've never taken sponsorship or anything like that from TPI but you can't say the same thing with the Observer and the Lonnie Kai. It's like the Lonnie Kai props up that newspaper, and that's why the stories are skewed against TPI. But anyway, what I wanted to say was, if you saw what was going on the last 3 years, you saw that there was 2 years of a frivolous lawsuit, and then he got lucky. The Condieras family got lucky because there is a pandemic that adds on top of 2 years of a frivolous lawsuit.
I don't think I would put it like that.
And the worst industry out of everybody is the hospitality industry.
But the hardest hit.
The hardest hit. And then on top of that, TPI's hotels are in Minnesota, where you got a crazy, wacky governor that's not like Governor DeSantis. Thank the God for Governor DeSantis that we're able to be free in this state. And so they're all locked down up there. So they're at 20% capacity. So you have to figure something is going to change. Something's going to be different. It's not the same as it was. They would be open. They might be open by now if he didn't drop lawsuits on the place. So
I don't know with the pandemic if, that I would imagine that would have slowed things down. But they would have been farther along than they are now. They would have had materials. I mean, now it's just there's not a lot of materials. I would imagine the price of those materials has gone up. Everything's different now than it was 2 years ago.
Right.
So
it's more than just trying to find financing. It's trying to find construction supplies that are not going to make you bankrupt from the beginning. And the worst part about the situation is the employees at TPI really, unfortunately, they owned the company until John Dammerman had to buy it out, and their
I don't know
stock
had to, but.
Well, before a vulture capitalist came in and slashed everything and made it worse. But they lost their investment, and it was
you don't know that, but I mean it possible.
That's what happened when they get bought out. So it's most unfortunate for them, but for you people to just to jump on that and to just try and make it seem like I told you so, or there's some kind of conspiracy with the town council. That town council that started with the Tracy Gore regime was some of them were hell-bent on trying to make sure that thing didn't happen, and then it gets pared down, and everybody votes for it. It went through all the processes. So there's no conspiracy that the town council was behind and that needs to be looked at. That project was looked at with a magnifying glass, like the Hubble telescope, for crying out loud. So it's just, and you notice that all the negative talk is not on our side anymore, because they know we won't put up with that, because we're in favor of it. Plus we also believe it's going to be built one way or another. We think it's going to be built. And is it for you that are all giddy and happy about it now? Is it because you want the place to stay the way it looks now? I mean, that's the thing. That's the worst thing. It looks horrible down there. And that's been going on for how long now? I know you're sick of me chatting. So
I love that those guys have matching bikes.
Yeah. we're not getting matching bikes, so forget about that.
I love your matching bikes.
All right, she wants out because it's too hot out here. But
It's
thank
hot.
you, everybody, for all your love and all your affection and sticking with us. And I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see.
Putting up with your long diatribes.
And thanks to our guests. We had great guests today, Brad and the folks from Family Initiative. Let's go fishing. Let's go climbing, and let's go home and get out
and
of
let's go walking our bikes through the square.
Yes. All right, everybody. We will see you next week. Congratulations to our ticket winner. The answer was Space Shuttle. So who won the tickets again? I've already forgotten.
It's already up
Thank you
there.
guys so much. And we'll be back next week with another lineup of great guests. And within the next few weeks, we have Chris Patrica coming back from the school board. Lots of stuff going on at the school board with the new superintendent and the poster thing they were going through. So that'll be fun. We like her. And it's a great day on the beach. So have a great holiday, everybody.
Yes,
And
happy
we will
Memorial
see you.
Day.
And just in case you missed the opening at the
All
beginning
right.
of the show, here it is again as we say
They
bye-bye.
put the B in business.
Beach Talk Radio is a business. We do not allow businesses. They weren't allowed to sell things that they were making there. The other people in that plaza pay huge rents in order to conduct business in Times Square. To allow a business to be a street performer, Beach Talk Radio is a business.
Now it's time to get down to business with a capital B. Business is hopping here on Fort Myers Beach in the public square where Beach Talk Radio is broadcasting live. Here are your hosts, Kim and Ed Ryan.
I don't mind being called a liar when I'm lying or about to lie.
Let me just say this for the record. The content of the show has nothing to do with this.
Or just finish lying.
It may have something to do with it in some people's mind. It has zero to do with it in my mind.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.